Hi, this is Mika with Al's Support Local. Today on location, we have Tristan with Maoli Farms. And we came to one of her locations. It's a brand new spot. And it's all, she said it's rough Aina.
It's raw Aina, for sure.
Raw Aina. It's starting over, starting fresh. So we came to talk story with her. And she started from her backyard. So
yeah, right.
So everyone can do it. So there's no excuses, even me. You know,
yeah.
You can start from your backyard. So thank you so much for taking the time. I know you guys are busy.
Thank you. We are
hard.
stoked to have you. I mean, you have no idea. This is cool.
Talk a little bit about how you got started. You know what I mean? Because you're a 9-to-5er like a lot of us out here. Have a daytime job.
And kids and their curriculars and my curriculars, totally. So Uncle Alan is a certified mechanic. He's been doing that for like 20 years. And then I'm an accountant for like 14 years in clerical work. And so we got into it, well, through a lot of things, I guess. Trauma and death is kind of a weird thing to say, but when my father died, my dad died in 21, he was the believer of native Hawaiian medicines and herbal remedies. And so we always grew up with that around the house. You know, the ava, the olena, the popolo, just around the house. But like all of us, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I never paid attention, really.
It's not just you. You don't realize what you got until you're older. You took advantage of,
Totally. And so when he passed away, it was like, I told my mom, I'm like, can I have the plants? You know, like it helped me with healing and my own healing and learning more and what my dad was talking about all these years. And so
we paid attention, you just didn't know it.
Right. The muscle memory was kind of cool. Like we were mentored by a lot of seasoned mahi'ai and who embraced us and our vision and our passion and our why. And so we're thankful to them for sharing, you know. And what we saw through the research was a type of farming called agroforestry, which is high diversity, high density of a whole bunch of stuff, all jammed packed in an area, and it just takes care of itself. And so for someone who's busy and doesn't have time, that would work. You know, when we tried to scale up our backyard, luckily we met, you know, the Ohana Hui Ventures that invited us up here to kind of expand what we were doing in our yard. So we do have a 1 acre tract here, but we're just cutting it up into little zones of like 10,000. Yeah, and to see what works.
10,000.
5, 10,000 pieces. But the fact that it worked with no input and no irrigation, we rely on the moon calendar. So we started to research the seasons, the patterns, and we plant with the moon. And then with the moon schedule, you knew the rain pattern. So if anyone could like learn more about that helps with understanding the environment and its patterns, and you'll notice how it affects your body, like it could, you know. Yeah, it's a really cool thing.
That's all facts, though.
It's a huge scale that we're, you know, broad reconditioning of ourselves as Kanaka that we're learning out here.
Everything that you learned, and it's literally all organic and getting to know yourself, giving back to the land, bringing out what your dad taught you all those years. It was in you. You wouldn't be doing all this and everything if it wasn't in you. You know what I mean? So it's come full circle, which is cool. Yeah,
and you know, I didn't really know much about my dad's Ohana side until he passed away, and his brothers are farmers. His Ohana's farmers, they're all mahi'ai on Maui and down here in Waianae. So it's like really cool that just not random, but just unexpected. Waking up one day and doing this, it was like the jam. Like through Kiakua and guidance, it was, it really came together very nicely for us so far, knock on wood. But
so we're here at Maoli Farms at her newest location?
This is the first offsite. So like, so in Kailua, our 227 square foot backyard is the actual USDA native urban farm. So we got that designation back in 22.
Wow.
Cool. The reason, they came out, they did a survey, and so cute. You know, the guy with the clipboard is like, okay.
Critiquing your garden.
But it worked, you know, and we got, that just opened the doors wider with resources, funding. They help with like management, you know, my little garden, but I had the business plan on what we want to accomplish. And so they've been helping us a lot. This, we were totally blessed by Akua for opening that door at that right moment. This is ADC land. It's a 335 acre parcel, and the state's trying to do they have been trying to do revitalization here up at Whitmore, at the end of Whitmore Avenue on this parcel. But you know, there's been a lot of stuff that happened on this side. I'm not going to go into that. No, I'm kidding. Okay. But, you know, after hearing the new lease owner and their vision, it was like, wow, I really think it's time. Kanaka really need to get back to this ahupua of Kukani Loko because
the history of the land
is
there.
Deep.
Right? Like down to its core.
Way deep.
Right.
And something about being on this island, if you're not Pono, it'll kick you right in immediately. There's no grace period at all. And speaking of Kukani Loko, a lot of us know it as the 5 acre park with the birthing stones, but Kukani Loko is actually 35,000 acres large.
Wow.
So it encompasses Schofield military base and heads up Mauka, up through our Whitmore Avenue and into the Ko'olau mountain range. And at the tippity tops of Punalu is Kukani Loko.
Wow.
Right.
So this is what it was made for. You're just starting it over again.
Well, we feel to be a part of... Right. So the significance of bringing back native Hawaiian herbs here to this moko just felt right because according to Mo'olelo, this was the largest La'au Lapa'au forest, largest medicinal forest because of the warrior training grounds, as well as a birthing center for our royal keiki. So they had to have all of the La'au here in quantities to administer to those. Right. So it's a little piece, but we're starting and hoping to just keep growing.
Okay, so with all that you have going on, what are some of the, I guess, focus plants that you have?
Right, so we have Mamake, Olena, Ko'oko'olau, we have Popolo, we have Pohinahina, we've got, those are the La'au and the medicinal herbs. And then to protect them, because we're trying to do agroforestry, we put in native canopy trees. And kind of the fastest ones right now are the kukui. So if you notice, we're doing the albiza trees. As the albiza trees die down from the bark girdling, then our kukui nut tree will take its place as the canopy or makua tree to take care of the la'au in the center. But yeah, we used to have popolo all along the lines there.
So if you see, so I just learned this, if you see popolos in the berries in Milani, because I know they grow plenty.
Yeah.
So that just means it's supposed to be there.
Right? Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do, bring back all the natives. And popolo is so good for you. You know, it helps.
What are some of the uses? Because I'm still learning. So I know some of the berries, I know you said the medicinal purposes. There are purposes for, what do you use them for? Because I know you said you had tea.
Yes, so the mamake, it's, everyone makes tea out of mamake, and that's good for muscle relaxation. So it was administered to the birthing mothers at Kukani Loko as a muscle relaxant. So they just feed mamake to her or drink, so to help her with the labor. It also helps with, it's an antioxidant, so it'll clean you out. In fact, they also have berries, the mamaki berries. If you take a handful and you couldn't go, you'll go.
You go real quick.
You'll go. Yeah, just a handful of that and you'll go. And
it's better than raisins.
Right. Yeah. Or just as fast too. Olena's got a whole bunch. That's a turmeric. Yeah. Olena is a native turmeric. And how you can tell you have the native one is that the pua is white. So if your Olena is white, all white, maybe a tinge of purple, that's
how you know.
Native Hawaiian turmeric. Yeah.
That's cool.
And the popolo, that's an amazing one too. A handful of that. My husband has asthma too, but if we have a handful of popolo and he eats that, it's equivalent to like 1 pump of his asthma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll clear him up with upper respiratory and stuff. I'm not a doctor, and please consult your physician, but
she's speaking from her own experience and culture.
Yes.
Right.
Totally. And so how, like, because obviously we have to, you know, maintain an economic sustainable income, is that a lot of our friends, they make teas and salves and tinctures, and so they're like, Jess, grow me this or grow me that, Jess. I'm like, okay, boom, boom, you know, and then it's like being able to support them, they support us, and then it's kind of a thing we're doing.
It's simple. It's the way life used to be. It's just real simple. We all help each other.
Yeah,
really
creating those, maintaining relationships, reconnecting relationships, and
that's the movement.
Yeah,
getting back to people.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to share a true story of how Tristan and Maoli Farms came across my my wheelhouse. So it came across on Instagram. She did a post or a story of her. I'm just going to call it seed bombing, where she goes around certain areas of Oahu and just showers love.
I like the way you called it that.
Showering love of native plants. So what made you do that? Because that's different, and I love it.
Actually, seed bombing is an ancient Chinese secret for like thousands of years. So like in the history of that, you know, it made sense for the farmers at that time is to make little clay seed bombs with seeds and then just chuck it out into their hillside, and it'll eventually grow. So it's been around, but what we thought was just focusing on natives and the native seeds and the plants that we grow. So we consider our mala like a seed bank. So all the seeds and cuttings we get, we're just duplicating and sharing. And so when we did the seed bombing, we started off with this whole area with native seed grasses. That's a ravine in the back. It's like a 25, 30-foot job. And we just started seed bombing, making seed bombs with the clay we found here and the seeds we have, and just chucked them over
giving back to the land.
And just spreading it out. And, you know, of course we have some, and for me, especially that Waianae coast, you know, it's so dry and so like similar to Lahaina. I mean, not lack of a better description, but we know now the gravity of why that's so important to have ground cover and greenery, you know. So yeah, once we hit Water Park, my kids already know the windows are going down, and we're sharing pohinahina and ilima and all of our native grasses. Nothing crazy, you know, nothing crazy, but
beautification.
Right. And hey, we're gonna blame the birds on that one.
Because organically and naturally, it happens. Seed bombing, birds, wind, rain, everything. Mother Nature.
Yes.
You know, so we're just supporting what already happens.
So when someone starts regulating flight pattern and rain pattern, you know, we're not going to stop.
Right. But we're just, you know, sharing the love. We don't regulate the birds or the wind or the rain.
Yeah, because like if the seeds fall and like roll down the street, right?
Really, it's our kuleana if you look at it. That's just the bottom line.
And I really think the time is now, you know, and from what I'm hearing at all of the conferences and summits, the state is really looking to the community to take action and make the impact in their own moku or their ahupua or in the land to kind of organize, collaborate, and get growing.
Literally get growing.
Yeah, and that has so many benefits. Like some people are like, oh, well, why would you do that, you know?
So if you want to learn more about seed bombing, Maoli Farms.
You can follow us at Maoli Farms on Instagram. And yeah, we've got a lot of tutorials and a little stuff aimed at like Kumu teachers. My children go to charter school, and so it's a lot of Aina-based curriculum nowadays. I'm so glad they brought that back.
Right. That's one thing the DOE did get right.
Hooray! Finally, yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Love DOE. So I'm working with some nurses that kind of want to do Aina work, but because they're so busy, like nurses have the craziest schedule. I really
it's like 12 hours,
power
right?
to them to be able to go, 2-3 days, right? But there's a great organization called Alliance of Nurses for Healthy Environments. We've been partnering with for 6 months, and they want to know how they can help to helping the environment and restoration. So the seed bombs are something when I send them home with like a few, and they just have fun. Like it's just a fun activity to do, like chucking them out the window on the way to work. Boom, that's it. That's their share to the whole vision. Something they could do like on their own.
And anyone can do it. Right. All you gotta do is drive by, work in the down, and share the love. Literally. Yeah.
And on the same side, I understand like the sensitivity as far as DNA integrity of the native species for ahupua. I totally understand that. So there's a sense of kuleana when,
but that's key, though. You understand that you're not just doing it to disrupt anything. You're doing it to give back. So I think if, bottom line, and we always talk about this, your intentions behind your actions is what's key. Because you put out, you get back what you put out. So if you're putting out only but love and good intentions, that's what it is. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and giving us a tour.
Thanks for coming.
And remember to
always support local.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Stay blessed.